Hello everyone, and welcome to Hidden Korea, where the biggest secrets and most explosive truths finally come to light. Today, we bring you a revelation that has shaken the entire nation to its core. After years of silence and speculation, Hyun and son Ye-jin have finally spoken, and their explosive marriage confession has sent shockwaves through the industry and fans worldwide. They reveal why now, and how did this truth stay hidden for so long? Stay with us, because the truth begins right now. For years, Hyun and son Ye-jin remained the nation's golden couple, admired, adored, and endlessly speculated about. The moment they're on screen, chemistry ignited global obsession to the quiet elegance of their real-life relationship. They lived under a spotlight brighter than most could withstand. And yet, they chose silence. Silence in the face of rumors. Silence through controversies. Silence even when fans begged for the truth behind whispers of a marriage darker, deeper, and more complex than their carefully curated image. But everything changed the night they finally spoke. It began with a sudden announcement from their joint agency, an emergency press conference. Scheduled at midnight. With no warning or explanation. Reporters panicked. Fans flooded social media. And the entire entertainment world froze in anticipation. Something monumental was coming. Something no one had seen coming. The atmosphere outside the press hall crackled with electricity. Security was tighter than ever. Drones hovered overhead. Camera crews tripped over each other trying to claim the best angle. Even the air felt heavy. As though the truth waiting behind those closed doors would reshape everything the public thought they knew. Then the doors opened. Hyun entered first, shoulders tense. Eyes shadowed with exhaustion. Gone was the charismatic leading man fans adored. In his place stood someone carrying a weight far greater than fame. Behind him, son Ye-jin walked in slowly. Her expression solemn. Her hands clasped tightly in front of her as though bracing for impact. A flash of cameras exploded like lightning, but neither of them flinched. They took their seats. It was suffocating. Then Hyun looked up, breathing deeply, and spoke the sentence that sent shockwaves across the nation. Tonight, we will tell you the truth about our marriage. Gasps echoed through the hall. Reporters leaned forward as though gravity itself had shifted. Fans watching the live stream erupted into chaos. Comments flooding the screen faster than they could be read. But nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared anyone for what came next. Hyun continued, voice steady yet trembling beneath the surface. He revealed that their marriage, public believed to be a fairy tale union, had in fact been overshadowed by a series of events they had kept hidden for years. Behind the warm smiles and romantic photos lay a storm they both fought desperately to survive. Son Ye-jin took over. Her voice softer but sharper, like a blade cloaked in silk. She recounted the period leading up to their wedding. Pressure from the media. The invasion of privacy. Sudden appearance of someone from their past had pushed them to the breaking point. They had faced threats, fear, manipulation from a source they both thought had been long gone. The hall vibrated with tension. She described how their quiet relationship had been infiltrated by a person determined to expose every private detail of their lives, someone who claimed to know secrets the couple had never intended to reveal. Sleepless nights. Constant surveillance. Messages slipped under their door. Photos taken without consent. The couple suffered it all while putting on brave faces for the public. It escalated further when a message arrived at their home only days before their official wedding ceremony. A message that forced them into silence and secrecy for years. The world knows the truth. Everything you love will fall apart. No one in the hall dared to breathe. Hyun's jaw tightened as he revealed how the wedding, initially planned as a celebration, turned into a desperate attempt to protect one another from forces determined to destroy them. Their families became targets. Staff were watched. And the couple found themselves navigating a labyrinth of threats while pretending everything was perfect. The revelation was nothing short of explosive. Fans had believed their silence was simply privacy. They never imagined it was protection from something far more sinister than gossip or paparazzi. Son Ye-jin's eyes glistened as she confessed how close they came to giving up. How many nights they wondered if marriage was even possible under such suffocating pressure. And then, the moment that broke the nation's heart. Hyun reached over and took her hand. We didn't stay silent because we wanted to, he said. We stayed silent because we had to. For each other. For our families. For our safety. Questions still hung in the air. What happened after the wedding? What came next? And the truth waiting in the second half of their confession would shake Korea even harder. After Hyunbin's words settled into the room like a chill, Ye-jin leaned forward. Her voice steady, yet each syllable carried the weight of years lived in fear. She revealed what happened after the wedding, how the threats didn't stop, how the messages became darker. The intrusions grew bolder. Even in their own home, they felt eyes watching them. Even on set, sensed a presence lurking just beyond the lights. It wasn't superstition. It wasn't paranoia. It was real. She shared how, only 1 month after their marriage, someone hacked into her private phone. Photos never meant for the public suddenly appeared in anonymous emails. Recordings of their conversations were sent to their agency. Wedding location, once a secret, was leaked to the media. But not by accident. Someone wanted their world to burn. Reporters in the room swallowed hard, shocked into silence. Fans online were in tears. Then Hyunbin revealed a detail no one expected. They had hired professional investigators. The couple had worked with security experts, detectives, and cybercrime analysts to uncover the identity of the person haunting them. And after months of searching, a horrifying truth came to light. The person behind the threats was someone they had once trusted. A former staff member, one who had worked closely with both of them during their earliest days together, had grown obsessed with their relationship. When they announced their marriage, the obsession twisted into malice. Using insider access, the individual gathered information, planted devices, leaked private data, manipulated others into feeding the couple false leads. Motive? Jealousy. Possession. Control. Revelation stunned everyone. Sun Ye-jin's voice cracked as she described the fear of realizing someone who once served them tea, arranged their schedules, smiled politely in meetings, had been collecting pieces of their lives to use as weapons. She explained how the situation escalated to the point that she couldn't sleep without checking the windows twice. Hyunbin stood guard many nights, patrolling their home like a man preparing for war. And then, finally, authorities intervened. Walker was caught. But the damage had already been done. Years of silence. Years of fear. Years of hiding the truth from the world because every advisor, every official, every person with influence told them the same thing: stay quiet. This will only get worse if you speak. Until now. Now, for the first time, the couple looked the world in the eye and declared, "We are done living in fear." Hyunbin explained that their decision to speak publicly wasn't for sympathy, nor for drama. It was to reclaim their lives after losing so much of them to a person who believed they owned their story. Sun Ye-jin nodded, her hand gripping his tightly. Powerful and raw. The reporters finally found their voices. Questions flew through the air, desperate, frantic, emotional. How did you endure it? Why speak now? Is your marriage okay? Are you safe? Hyunbin answered with quiet strength. We endured because we chose each other. We speak now because the truth can no longer harm us. Sun Ye-jin delivered the final blow to the nation's heart. Marriage was born in love, but survived because of courage. By the time the press conference ended, the internet was already in meltdown, fans crying, international tabloids scrambling, industry insiders stunned into silence. What the world believed was a fairy tale love story had been, in truth, fought in shadows. But now the shadows were gone. And as Hyunbin and Sun Ye-jin walked out of the hall, hand in hand, stronger than ever, the nation realized something profound. Their silence was never weakness. Survival. Their truth was not just explosive. It was liberating. As the lights in the press hall dimmed and the cameras powered down one by one, a profound stillness washed over the room, almost as if the world itself was trying to absorb the weight of everything Hyunbin and Sun Ye-jin had revealed. Their truth was no longer hidden behind silence or shadows. Now lived openly, raw and unfiltered, echoing across the nation in a way no one expected. Fans once believed was a perfect, untouched fairy tale had been, in reality, a story of survival, loyalty, and courage. Yet even in the darkest corners of that journey, love endured. It bent, but it never broke. And by speaking out, they reclaimed not just their narrative, but their freedom. Their confession didn't weaken them, it fortified them. Reminding millions that even the brightest stars face storms the public never sees. Standing together under the final glow of the stage lights, their hands intertwined, They prove that love is not defined by perfection, but by the battles fought to protect it. And the nation, shaken to its core, found itself filled not with scandal, but with awe. Everyone who walked through this revelation with us, thank you. Thank you for listening with open hearts, for standing with empathy instead of judgment, for allowing this story to unfold in all its painful honesty. Thank you for staying until the very last word, caring beyond the headlines, for choosing compassion in a world often too quick to assume the worst. This chapter may close here, but their journey continues, stronger, braver, and finally free. Thank you for being with us until the end. See you again in the next story.